Hello my dear chess friends, welcome to Kiwi Chess. Here I am streaming again. I didn't have chance to stream yesterday, so I'll do it today. And without preface, I'll go there because I don't think I've got a lot of time. So I'll try to do my best and solve as many puzzles as I can. But yeah, I wouldn't waste that much time. So here we go. As you see, I'm just slightly above 2500. I had a really big duck there um, for about like um, maybe a month ago. No, sorry, not a month. What I'm talking about 3 weeks ago. All right. Anyways, so here we go. We notice straightforward that well, first of all, um, the material seems equal. That's the first thing that we count. Then we see, well, what at least I noticed right off forward, that this queen is not protected, meaning that we might have some chance to get that with checks, etc. But that's not as easy so far. Look, what I've got here is this combination taken on e6. Looks like we are losing our queen because our queen is not protected, but what happens then is if I take, he takes, surprise surprise, checkmate, right? So in this case, once I take on e6 with my knight, he needs to do something else. And what he can do, in fact, is to get there with check. See this, since my knight went away, the bishop is actually pinning the g3 pawn, and he can give me a check here. Okay, now, okay, sure, he gives me a check, but I'm going away, and then his queen is still under attack, right? He can't even capture my knight here. If he tries to get there to take on g3 with the bishop and then declare checkmate on g2 on h2, he's got no time, as we said. We still checkmate him here. So I think this whole concept here is healthy. We just needed to see this whole thing about g3 and going away, and if that is actually working or not. So I'm gonna go there. Take check here. Sure. So we've got only one way to go back, because if we cover, he checks us here and checkmates us on the next move, right? So that's not gonna be too healthy. So we're going away, and again, he's got no time to get anything done there. If he takes me here with check, sure, I'm just retaking. So I'm just going away. He takes me here. I'm renewing my threat on f6, f8, and we are fine. So again, once you look at the initial position, the things that you spot is the queen is on this diagonal. It is not protected. That's how you develop your attack further on. Luckily, that was the actual motive for the combination here, but it could be something else. Another helping motive is that if we take with the knight on e6, we've got the checkmate threat if the queen goes anywhere else, right? If he doesn't take me, too bad. That's what happened in the game. I'm just escaping, and he changes on f1, but his queen is still under attack. He needs to go away, and our knight safely travels back home somewhere like on d4, for example, or it depends where. Okay, so the sequence was taking here, he takes here with check since the pawn is pinned. We're going away. He changes on f1, but we take, and we still have got this checkmate threat as well as the queen hanging, right? So he can't really do both of that. He cannot really go back, he cannot go there, he cannot go anywhere basically. So all of the retreats for the queen are cut off. Okay, and therefore he loses. Okay, let's go. I've got only 7 points for that one. Now, in such a position, I do want to kind of get his king out of here, get his king in here, I mean, and not to get out. And then I will try to threaten checkmate somehow, like knight to d4, for example, and c6 checkmate. If he goes with the pawn, it doesn't really help him because I'm gonna simply take, I believe. Let me just check that. So if we go there, and if he goes with the pawn, I think we just step with the pawn further. The reason for that is that he can't really catch my pawn, and pawn goes on queens. If he goes there, I'm simply taking him here in my pawn queens first, and then I'm gonna checkmate his king. It is visible even without any calculation here. But maybe I should calculate because it might be not really obvious for you guys. So I'll just do that. Just a second. I'll go to the stream statistics. Wonderful. And then I'll go to my channel to get to the chats. All right, I'm back here. Now, what else can we do here? Is there any way we could get his king stuck in here without moving the pawn forward? And I don't see that. I would really like to checkmate him on here on c6, but if I go further, he can at least sacrifice the pawn. So that stands against my ruling. If I go there and he goes with the bishop to here to get my pawn, I'm gonna go there, and if he takes my pawn, I'm gonna checkmate him anyways. Yeah, I think that's kind of a sane idea, right? So he goes there, sure. Changing on b4 doesn't really help much, does it? We decided that it's not really helpful, so I'm just gonna go further with the pawn. And that's wrong. I don't need to distract myself, and I'm just gonna go there and checkmate him. Oh, sorry. Take. No, I don't. 10 on a second, so this way, checkmate. Right, so checkmate was on the plate. I saw the idea, but I shade that as usual, so just going with the pawn forward doesn't really help. Why would I need to go with the kings if I can finish the matter much faster? And that's where I just shade it again. Yeah, so it's a checkmate. Wonderful. It's really interesting how in my problem is that in most of the cases I see the idea, and where I fail it is the actual technicality, the performance. And it's not only here. I spot that in the regular games that I play. Everything goes fine and I see the ideas, but then I just miss some tactical blow, and that's basically it, right? Now, what can we do here? The bishop here is pinned, right? Our rook is guarding that. So technically he cannot even go anywhere with his king. Good, that's really good for us. Now, what about here? Can we just play like h4 and put him in Zugzwang or something? Guys, let me just quickly take a really quick break. Okay, I'm back. So here in this position, I was thinking about putting black in the Zugzwang situation, but it's really kind of interesting if I could just get those ones both somehow. Like attacking here maybe, or playing h4. See, if I play h4, he's got at least this check, right? So if he gets this check, I'm gonna take. Otherwise, where would he go, right? So this, he can't really go with his king anywhere. So yeah, if he goes there, check. Sure. I'm still taking here. But the problem is, can I catch it all? I need to catch his knight somehow. I need to make that easier as possible. It's a really interesting idea to put him in Zugzwang, but maybe not straightforward. That's what I don't know. Maybe I should go there instead. I don't know. In this case, he can only go there. But this way I can't even approach to this pawn anymore. So that's not good. That's not good. What I can do, I can move that pawn and then he needs to move himself. So check. Just going away, he gives me another check. And it goes for my pawn, so that doesn't seem right. There should be something different, something easier. Ah, you know what? I can move my rook here. This way I'm cutting off his knight completely. He's got no spots to go. And once he goes somewhere like here, I'm just stepping and it's a Zugzwang. Yes, yes, that's how it is. And we're just passing the pawn, he goes away, we are taking the bishop. And that's winning. That's interesting because this position here, well, look, once this kind of thing happens and you see that black's pieces are kind of wrecked, right? This one is protecting the knight, but at the same time it is pinned, so it can't really move. The king can't really move because it's the only defender of the bishop on f6. The g7 is taken away, so it's either of those pieces should fall. But what to do? See, my idea was that if I put him into try to put him into Zugzwang by playing h4, then that wouldn't help because his knight is actually loose. But what we can do is we can make a smart move with the rook that doesn't really make anything worse because the bishop is still pinned and we take those two squares from the enemy's knight to go. Therefore he is in a complete Zugzwang. He can't really move any piece apart from this pawn. But once the pawn moves, we just fix that on h4 and that's it. So he needs to make a move and he loses. Interesting. We've got 9 points for that. Very well. Okay, next. Looking at the position, we see that we are missing a pawn. It is okay, but the enemy's king's position is really weak on the dark squares here, right? That's the second thing that we notice. f7 pawn is potentially weak, but I don't see how we can use that right away. Anything else? And I don't see anything else so far. We can move with our queen somewhere closer to this position so he doesn't break like with the f pawn. We pin this pawn down. But then what? Are we threatening to take here or are we threatening to push the rook forward at some point? That's not clear. Maybe we can push the rook there and then take, and when he takes again I give a check here or something. Still not clear now. Still not too clear. If I go there, my idea will be to get there with the rook. In fact, that's the threat. Because if he takes... Maybe I can take here. No, that does not check. My goodness, no. What am I talking about? That's not the way. The rook is already on the 4th rank. Maybe we could move it to attack the enemy's king somehow, or rather... Maybe we could sacrifice right forward. That's what I'm not kind of calculating at the moment, but it seems like my pieces are not really aligned to the to perform this attack so far, and that's a bit sad. How can we use dark squares here? That's a question. Maybe I could just go there with the knight. So this is the idea, to check here. It's a check fork. Yeah, so that's an idea, yeah. So if I go there, what if he just moves the pawn forward, right? Does that help? No, that doesn't, because I give him a check anyways. And if he goes somewhere, I can... give a check, he goes away. If I simply take, he takes me here with the pawn. And that's about it. Now, in this position, we definitely need to keep the queens on the board, so we can create a checkmate threat here. But what and how? Still check. He goes away. Maybe then we simply move the queen somewhere. I don't know. Right, so maybe with this, well, I was looking at this move too, but he simply takes, right, and I don't have anything. So no, that seems the best way here. And if he goes e5, that seems like refuting my attack. Or is it? There is nothing else that forcing as knight to e4. And again, if I go there and he pushes e5, that doesn't prevent the f6 check, right? So if I check here, say he goes away somewhere. Ah, that's the idea. I found it. So now queen to e3. Where he goes. Either way he goes, we get something else here. Just a second, guys. Distractions, but at least I got the point before I got interrupted. So here we go. If I go there and if he goes e5, attacking my queen, I still give check. he can't go to g7 because then I'm taking the queen with check. But either way he goes here or there, we're playing queen to e3 and the queen penetrates here. And he can't even go to h7, so he needs to go to h8 only, and then my queen on e3 threatens checkmate here, and that's sufficient. I think that's sufficient. Yeah, exactly. So going there, check. He goes there, then I'm taking here with check, of course. My idea was if this check and he goes somewhere else, namely only to h8, then I'm just going to e3 and here check comes, right? So if he goes away with the queen, he gets checkmated. If he gets with the king, I'm just taking the queen, right? That's the only thing. Yep, that works. And here again, just to review that, the main idea was the dark square weakness again around the enemy's king, right? Our pieces, once, especially when it is queen and the knight, they are really nasty against the enemy's king. So that's what we need to know. And look at that, our position, our pieces are really active. He's got only, well, he's got no pieces active here. That flank doesn't even play. All the pieces are on the 8th rank, which dictates that we need to attack quite vigorously, right? So knight there, exploiting this idea of forking queen and king. Therefore, he needs to react somehow. If he simply goes away somewhere, I'm still gonna give him check, and that's a really bad situation for people that get into that. I've been in this situation before too. So if this is the check, either way you go, you are expected to get a discovered check afterwards, right? But in this position, like if you go there, I can even probably get to check in a different ways here, like this check. What I'm afraid is that he can go that way. Do I get anything by taking? And he takes, I'm not sure, hang on. So there should be something else. I didn't, so that didn't really help that much. I can take on h5 with check, but then he still goes e5, right? So that's not really helping that much. If I go there check instead, then he goes e5, as I said. If I take, he takes me. Well, that doesn't work, does it? So I'm really surprised. We can give different checks, like this check, for example, and he goes that way. No, that doesn't seem right, does it? Check here. No. Just a moment. Let's rewind a little bit back. So if he goes away with the queen, what do we do? Giving check right forward or not? Let's go in there. He's getting distracted. Maybe he gets there, but if I give a check, well, I believe now it is better because we can give a check. No, we cannot, because he still pushes if e5. Am I missing something here? So check, well, I kind of have to play check here. So he goes there. Oh, there. I think h8 is better. Maybe there is a kind of simple solution of going with the queen here first. So he's still under check, right? Next. Yeah, I think queen to e5 would solve everything. Let's verify with the computer. So check here, sure. King goes there, and then, yeah, queen to e5. That's the thing. Then we also threaten to go with the rook here and discover check against, because that's going to be, well, again, hang on. So here, if he goes something like this way, first we're gonna go away, but this is the idea of checkmating here as well. Either way, we're going to h6 with a checkmate threat. So interesting. It's a really incredible potential here with the, if we go there, our next rook can go that way. So if he takes, we simply take with the rook. Still a threat of discover check, and if he goes there, we're just going forward, and there's a checkmate here hanging. Goes there, check, he goes away, check here, goes away, check here. Wow. Well, he definitely can't really survive that. Interesting. Next, we've got 9 points for that one, so which is good. Let's see how we are standing. Okay. Here we've got a pawn that is about to. Oh no, sorry, no, we're playing black. Pardon me. Our pawns are going forward, white's pawn are going downwards here, and it is our move. Well, what I see is our pawn is about to queen, and it queens with check. Is that good for us or not? It is good for us, but so is the enemy's pawn going, and it queens too. So there should be something. I believe we should just go forward. He cannot really give me any checks with the knights or anything, so he can reposition his king, for example, to stop me here. But would that help or not? That's a different question. That's a totally different question. Because then I can give him another check with the rook here, and if he goes anywhere like behind, that doesn't really help me, does it? No, it doesn't. Can I simply take the pawn? Oh, no, I think I just simply move. And if he goes somewhere else here, I can move with the rook. If he takes me, I can take then the rook, the pawn goes there, I can go there, and it looks like I can still catch the pawn. He can't protect, no, he can protect the pawn, and he goes there, and the pawn goes on queens. So that doesn't really help. However, I can move this rook onto g2 first, then he can't really escape, and then the pawn goes. That's an interesting idea. That's a brilliant idea because he stands on that checkmate, so that's what I'm gonna do. Right, so now he tries to get somewhere here or there. Right, especially. Can I cut both of those ones somehow? I'm not sure. Can I go there maybe? Then check here. Or I just simply continue. If I simply continue, he goes with the knight to f2. I take this knight, but then he slips away. I can always give him another check, but that's gonna be a shame, right? That's gonna be a total shame. If we go there, with the idea if he goes that way, I can simply take the rook. Then his pawn slips, right? Okay. What the heck can we do here? Can we prevent him from going there? If I go, he goes to f2, of course, right? He goes to f2. and it seems like I have to take. But then his king slips away. But maybe that's enough for me because I have taken this piece, right? Alright, what can we do here? I do not want his... In fact, you know what? If I put my knight on f4, I can create this position where I can checkmate him on g6, right? That's an interesting thing. How do I get there? I can't get there any faster than that. Still takes like 2 moves to get there, right? Like 1 here, 1 there, actually 3 moves, okay? How can I predict that? I'm not sure. I kind of like this move. Because if he say goes there with a knight, can I go anywhere to like check him or maybe something? If he goes there, I simply take him, right? If he goes further, I'm going to go with the pawn further. Maybe I should just go that way and then go. Once he goes there, I can get somewhere here, like maybe. And then he goes with the pawn, for example. Then I go somewhere here, then there with the checkmate threat. Now that's way too long. Way too long. How do I protect f2? Otherwise, actually, I can attack him. That's a good, interesting idea. If he goes away with the rook somewhere, like here, what I can do is I can give him a check, and I can also just move the pawn forward. If he comes there, I simply take that, and the next move is gonna be check. So he needs to get away with the king, and I'm taking. Yeah, I think that should do. I think that should do. Why I like this move too, because if his rook goes somewhere like there, I'm gonna give him check for sure. If his king goes anywhere there, then I can simply take here with check. Now if I get there and he pushes the pawn, then I'm pushing my pawn in fact, and he can't really do anything about that. So if he goes there with a knight, I can probably even take him, right? I can go there. And he can go there, and then I can go where? No, I can't go there. That doesn't make sense. Maybe just simply pushing, and once he's going there, that's an exact move here. We are taking his rook. No, we should attack his rook prior. That's the whole point. And if he pushes the pawn, When I push my pawn, then he goes there, then I simply take him, and he's gonna go there with check, but he goes away. I'm taking the rook, he queens, I queen, and he that doesn't make sense, because that would be okay. But if I queen here first and the diagonal is empty, then he cannot queen, and that's what we need to do here, I reckon. So just go in there, he gets there, I'm attacking him. If he pushes the pawn forward, I am simply taking the... And in fact, guys, I don't even need to do that. Well, once he goes there and he goes there, I'm pushing and he goes away. But this way, rook here, right? So I need to play the knight here first. So this move, he goes there, we're moving that way, we're attacking the rook, and that's an essential move here, because if he moves forward, then I'm taking the rook, and if he queens, that does make sense now. So I don't take the rook, then I'm just taking the here, knight here, and if he goes away, interesting. Maybe the knight should go that way. Hang on. If I go there, he goes that way. If I go that way, he pushes the pawn. Then I go take him. Takes here. And then no. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, what can I do then? Pushing the pawn forward? Sure, knight goes there. Going there, pawn goes. Taking the rook, queen, and we lose. Hang on, but what if I go there, he goes that way? I need to go that way somehow. What if I just go that way? If he goes there, I'm gonna give him check. And if he takes that, I take with the rook. Oh no, I take with the pawn. And if he goes there, I go there. And I queen with... Whoa, that's an interesting idea. So I need to go to g4. That's the thing. And if I go there, he goes with the king further. I'm going there. That doesn't work this way. I'm gonna go that way, then he goes there. King here. Still go there. No, that doesn't make sense. Too fancy. Should be something simple here, which I don't see so far. There must be something else here, which we are to check. Right. Too fancy. Now that I need to look at something simpler. So maybe we can do something like check here he goes and check there or something. Maybe I should just go with the king. That's another idea. So he goes there. I'm attacking. No, sorry. So I go there. He goes with the knight. I go there. I just go further. I just take, he escapes. Doesn't make sense to me. What can I do else? Maybe the pawn moves. Do I need to clear the way here or something? I don't understand. Look, that move also makes some sense because is it a threat to go the check? He goes further and then we go further there. But then if he goes that way, I haven't got any protection against that move, right? I know that I shouldn't really allow him to go outside, so go in there. Now going that way, I want to go to g4 with check, and I cannot do that currently. So maybe I go there first. He can't really go there with a knight anymore. And if he can't go with a knight, then I would need to... what would he do? He would push the pawn forward, right? But then I give him a check. He goes away somewhere like here or there. Then... Right, so what can I do? Go in there maybe? That defeats the idea of white going to f2. But then I can give you a check here or something, I don't know. So if I go there and he pushes the pawn, that's the main refutation kind of. And I can't really give you, well, the pawn is jammed, so I can't go there. Therefore, maybe I should just go to g4 or g5, sorry. That attacks the pawn. What if he just ignores that? What if he, well, first of all, what if he goes there? I need to push the pawn, but that's a waste of time. So if I just simply take here, he takes the pawn, and then his pawn is gonna get stronger by some reason. I don't know. What else can we do? Anywhere we can go. Going there with the check threat, but he goes there. So the whole idea is that his knight can go to f2. That's what I cannot really comprehend how to deal against. So yeah. Right, so what can we do? Right, so what can we do? Going there, so he goes with the knight. I simply take the knight, right? But then he escapes. Why was that the idea not to let him escape prematurely? Because he could play there too. I don't understand that. So he goes there, for example. I have taken him. Now, if then I take that pawn, can he win that position somehow? I can stop him. He goes there, sacrificing somehow here. I still think we've got two extra pawns here, so it should be fine. Once we win his knight, I think we might be able to stop the pawns, but I'm really afraid that this pawn is just, it just has two steps before it queens, and that's not really good. It's not really good. Well, this one promotes, prevents the, gosh, promotes the threatens to promote the pawn, and then he goes there, and what we do next? Do we go that way, or what? Check here would be really good. So maybe we should go there when he goes that way. I go that way and go this way in this check or something. But frankly, can I give him another check from somehow, from somewhere like here maybe? Maybe that's the idea, to give him check from here, but then what? No, no, I need to think what we can do else here. Right, so maybe this is still an option. Let's just verify. So I got rid of this pesky move here, but he goes with his pawn, and that's sad. I can give him check, of course, but then he goes away somewhere. He can go 3 different ways, but then we go there, and then if he goes away, then the check comes, discover check comes, and then the queen, so he can't really escape that way. If I go there, and if he goes there right away, I still go that way. If he goes somewhere, I'm just still pushing the pawn, so he goes away. And if he goes there, maybe I don't push a pawn, I'm just gonna give him check again. Doesn't seem right. Oh, I think I'm overcomplicating. This should be something really easy. Maybe we should cover the pawn some. If I just go there, that's another interesting idea. If he goes that way, I'm simply taking. And if he goes away with the king somewhere, I could potentially just protect and then push my pawn. If he goes there, I can simply attack him. He can take here. Now that's way too complex. Now what do I miss? There should be something easy. This knight maneuver doesn't seem right. Naturally I want to just queen, so I just go there. He prevents me from doing that. Hang on. What I'm thinking of is just to go that way. He moves the pawn. That's the point, so no. Then we go there. He goes, what if I sacrifice? Maybe I just missed that one. Just thinking. So if I just simply take him and he goes away, I go check again, and he goes that way, right? Then just going that way, attacking him. If he takes check here, doesn't make sense now. I missed something really easy, I reckon. Should I go there maybe? If he goes here, don't I have any checkmate threats here or something? Check. Goes away. Doesn't help. Well, what candidate moves I've got? This one, that one. That one with the pawn, going with the king further. Maybe just going there, why I thought. Then it goes there instead. I'll just get some water. I think I just need to refresh my mind a little bit. Just saw some nice ciabatta bread. Couldn't resist to take a bite. It's not really good to eat towards night time, especially with all things made of dough. But it's so nice. Okay, so what can we do? Another fresh look at the position. Well, still kind of like that move. But he simply moves the pawn, right? We move the pawn, goes somewhere else, but then we check. Okay, I'm gonna go that way, guys. That's wrong. That's a simple win, apparently. Okay, what if he goes there? Simply take there. Hang on. What if the pawn goes? The queen. How beautifully stupid I am. I know. So going there, going the pawn forward, going there. Why was I afraid of taking? Because the king goes away. Sure, but then I take a pawn, and this pawn is not gonna go anywhere. What I was afraid is check here. But that doesn't help, does it? I was looking at that move and then climb there. I forgot that my king is white's king is actually preventing from guarding that one. And I got minus 15 points for such a rubbish thing. That's an interesting kind of paradoxical way of thinking. I saw this move, and I saw that I can take him. But then I think his king escapes. And why was that an illusion? I need to understand this kind of things. Why was that was an illusion for me? Why? Because I couldn't place the pawn here, sure, but I could do other things. What other things? I was afraid that the pawn slips, but surely I can handle that by taking the pawn. And I thought, okay, but then he's gonna go that way. The pawn is gonna slip, even this way, right? Check, back. There will I queen first here, right? Then I start to harass his king. That's simple. But from afar, I didn't see that. Let's just verify that again. So I saw the first sequence of move, that one, right? I saw the idea to block the king on the g file by the g file, right? Now, if he goes there, that I didn't expect. Okay, sure, I needed to make a move. That felt actually natural, right? But then I thought, well, he goes there, and what I do? If I take, which I saw that. But what if I don't take? What if he goes with the pawn? Then we simply queen, right? Hang on. What if he goes with the pawn? So it goes there. Why would I? Why did I make two moves for white? That's what I don't understand. So taking, and if he goes there, but then we queen with check. Well, isn't that obvious? Take, but then I thought he escapes, and that's what I. Sorry. Oh gosh, start to hiccup. And then I thought like, yeah, he escapes, but how I'm going to hold that pawn? Simple, just take here. Well, what's wrong? Computer says it's minus 6 now. Well, it is winning for sure. And then I was afraid that there's something like this and that and the other, but then I can simply go there and it's still winning. Why? Because he can't really move the pawn. God, that's so silly. Alright, next one, minus 15 points. Well done, Alex, well done. That pawn move, h2, looked so natural. So now here what we've got is his pawn is about to queen, and he's already got a queen. We've got two rooks, and the only way we could potentially do anything about this situation is either checkmating him here somehow with the pawn or with the rook, or we can win the queen at the same time we can stop the pawn. I don't know. Well, let's do this check first. That's interesting. Okay, so he's got two options to go here or there. Basically, there is nothing else in here. Either way, if he goes, say, here, I'm gonna check with this rook. He goes away there. I'm gonna check him again. Or maybe I would not. I check him here. He goes there. I can check him here again. And if he goes that way, I can check him here on a3. Then he takes, I take. And he goes in queens, and that's not good for us. So need to devise another plan, but check here seems very tempting. However, we can go and check this way or that way first, and then wherever he goes, we can deliver another check, right? But would that be good or not? I kind of like to advance pawns because that seems more or less logical. So if he goes, say, this way, and that's the only way it looks like, you can go again and give him check. And if he goes there, then check again. Nope, I can't give him check this way. So I give him check, he goes back, right? He goes back. Do I have anything else here? Check. Well, I do. Check here, and he cannot really go anywhere. He goes there. He is gonna get checkmated on h4. I'll just explain to you. But it looks like that's the plan. So go in there, then check. He goes. If he goes that way, then check here and the checkmate. Alright, interesting. So yeah, let's go. That's the way. Now, if he goes, I calculated if he goes to f3, then the sequence, but I believe that going here check is better because that would allow us to checkmate him earlier, I think. So if he goes there instead, then maybe I need to correct him by going there check. Oh no, sorry, this check here. And if he goes there, then check. Okay, he goes there, check here, he goes back, check here, he goes that way, checkmate. Yeah, I think we need to correct him. Why not this check? Because he can go there then, and he looks like escaping. Yeah, so I don't need to. So this check, corrective check, is interesting. So he goes that way, then we go check here, and that repeats the situation because he can't go anywhere but to f4. Then I give him check. If he takes me here, I take him here check, and if he goes anywhere like this way, I still can get the pawn, and he needs to protect the pawn, spinning one more tempo, and then my pawn starts to go and I queen first. That makes more sense. Okay, check then. Hang on. So was that check also possible? That's why I didn't get. So if he goes there, then check here. No, that's why we need to correct him by going this check first. And if he goes there, then the check, yeah. And then this check comes. Okay, and then we go check here, and that basically wins, right? Let me verify if we've got anything better. No. Check here, goes there. Oh, okay, so this check I didn't see, but oh, sorry, this move I didn't see, but that's nothing. It's just taking the pawn and taking everything, right? And that's plus 12 points. Wow, that's really interesting. So what I want to concentrate here is that I will take that one off. So that was the good idea where we restrict his king even more. That seemed intuitive, and I made that move calculating the rest, of course. So just going, if we goes there, then we follow the same pattern. So just go there, check. If this is the check, here is a much better solution with a checkmate, right? And if he goes, if I go check and he goes that way, then we will view some corrective checks here. Check here, check here. He goes there, checks there, goes there, checkmate again. I believe it is okay. I don't know this person. Okay, right. So that's how it is. Let's just go for maybe a couple more. How are we standing? Okay, good. All right. So this way, it's really interesting position where our pieces are really active. Black has got some activity too. He's got like the d file, his queen is in the center, but our pieces are aiming at the enemy's king, and there's a lot of tension lines in there, which are quite interesting. What I first thought was I was to sacrifice on g7, but then I thought like, well, maybe that's not the best way, in fact. What I was looking at afterwards was to go to f4, but then I forgot that the rook in fact is protected, so that wouldn't give me the desired result. However, if we take here first on d2 and then he takes, then I go queen to f4. I'm threatening to take the rook, and in fact he cannot give me check because that d1 square is protected by the bishop. Therefore he needs to fall back or do whatever, and the next move will take on h7, and it's gonna be really strong attack here. Everything is gonna be under our fire. So let's play that, but let me verify first the sacrifice. So he takes, and it looks like we haven't got the firing units here at all. Whatever we do, well, there's nothing in there. Yeah. Now this is the move which I was counting on. Let's see if there is anything better now. Maybe there is something better now. And frankly, I don't see anything. So if I go there, if he goes away, then I'm still taking here. And if he checks me, I still get the escape square to h2. Doesn't seem he could do anything about that. If he goes g6, I'm simply taking that. And if he takes with the knight, I'm gonna take here with check. He takes, I'm checking. There's another check here and everything, and I can win the rook on checks as well, staying with an extra piece. So I think that's pretty much it. And that's wrong. It's wrong too. This is wrong too. That's all bollocks. Right. The good thing is that we got only 8 points deducted from us, which means that the thing is quite hard, but that doesn't necessarily. Hang on a second, what do I do? I just go there then. Here we go. But now I can take, right? And then he cannot. Well, if he takes this way, I give him check. He goes anywhere here. I give a check. No, not the, oh, come on, where did it go? Let me play, silly sod. So taking, of course, going there, taking here, and that is a win. But if he takes, then what I do? That's the problem. So check here, sure, and that's it. So next move, checkmate. Here we go. So here I failed that because I saw the idea, but I thought this idea is related to attacking the h2 pawn, but in fact pausing here it is delaying my attack, whereas here it is straightforward. It is already attacking. I don't need to attack the rook here at all, whatever he does. So now this way I'm taking with a rook, and the king is in this little box, which is to fail. I've got checkmate in one thread, so he has to take. I'm taking here check, nothing to interfere. He goes there, checkmate on f7. He goes anywhere here or there. It is a checkmate on g8. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Next. b3. Okay. What can we spot about this position is that we are missing 2 pawns, and it's quite amazing. But what we also spot is that, well, we kind of under the scrutiny here allows us to find some ways to exploit the situation. The problem is that he can give us a check on d6, right? That's a problem. Then we probably need to take the knight. That's what I was thinking. Taking, then attack the rook here. If the rook goes anywhere, it is standing away from the protective position on e3, and that's what we need. So if he goes there, we are attacking the bishop, and if he takes us, we're taking the rook. So I think that's how it works. Alright, how do we attack him though? I think we attack him from here. If we attack from somewhere like d2, he can step back and he still attacks our bishop. Not winning really, if you know what I mean. And if I go there, he has to step back along that file. That's correct. Wow, I couldn't really believe that for such a forcing puzzle, 11 points. Oh, wow. Oh dear. Now, what we've got here? The position is quite sharp. Looks like the pieces are developed. We've got under some threats here, namely just taking here with check. But the enemy's king is also walking in the center. So. Naturally, I would like to check here, but would that give anything to me? He can go g5, and how do I continue? h6 check, he goes back, then I take here check, he goes whatever. I simply take here or something. That doesn't make much sense to me. I think I know. I think rather than going there, I'm just gonna give him a check on e5. Falling anywhere forward would meet with check. And that's gonna be it. But if I give him check here and he goes back, then we've got, I reckon, nice check from c5. If he goes anywhere on light squares, then check here finishes. But if he is a smart guy, he will go back to f6, and then what the heck did we achieve? That's a really interesting question in that context. Problem is that I cannot really check him. Say if I go there, check, and he goes there, and I give him a check and he goes to f6, There is no other way for me to get him apart from checking on e5, which is not as good as I thought. What else can we do? Maybe we could take on g2 at some point or something. Bishop on d3 is also really nice, but maybe I've got this thing. Check here, he goes there. Rather than going and checking on c5, I'll give him a check on g5, which is a little bit smarter. If he goes somewhere here, that's a problem. I give him check here, he goes back there. That's not good. So check on g5. He goes to f. Can I do anything here? Well, even if I check from c5, he can cover with the bishop now, so that doesn't seem good. Right, what else have we got? Any other checks or whatever? So check, he goes there. Check doesn't help because he goes to f8, I can't do much. Right, then check here, he goes g5. F6 check, he goes there. I give him check here. If he goes there, do I have anything? Yes, I do. I can continue with this check because they check, yeah. So at least that's not too bad. I think that's the first thing I thought, like just checking here. And if he goes g5, I'm gonna give him check from h6. He goes away, then I'm gonna check him here. What if he goes there? That's a good question. Check here, he goes to f8, right? Then I can give him check from here, in fact. And if he covers, I am in trouble, aren't I? Playing with the queens is one of my weaknesses because queens have got so many places to go and check and control. So that's really kind of not confusing. That's the proper word. Okay. And we are one piece short, by the way. Let's not forget about that. So check here is probably the best. G5. Sure. Check here. He goes backwards. I take here with check. He goes backwards. I can give him always another check here, and if he goes there, I could potentially just take here with a check. I can go away. Would that be better for me or not? I will gain a pawn, which is considered a good gain under certain circumstances, but I will lose a rook, so that doesn't seem right. But looking at these checks here, it doesn't seem like I have to do anything. So check, get there, check, gets back, check. If he goes to here, what I do? And this check comes. If he goes there, then I would go check from here. He has to go back. I'll give him check here, and it is probably winning. He goes that way. Still, I don't really see when I can. Maybe I should just go away with my rook and that's it. I mean, this is kind of a bogus here, right? I don't know. Well, at least that is, well, this check is better. It doesn't allow him to go anywhere. Whereas all those checks, when he goes away, allow him to go back here. Yeah, okay. That's bollocks. What? If he goes back? You telling me that that's winning? Just going there with the checkmate threat, right? Check here. Going away. Check here. Going away. No more checks. Checkmate threat isn't there. If he goes that way, I don't even know. I think I'm gonna get too sleepy. So taking out. Maybe not taking. Computer, tell me. Can you check again? Sure. Goes back. Maybe playing this way now. So he takes. No, that's in black's favor. So check here again. He goes back. Then we go here. And then he goes away. And we check. He goes back. Goes there, check. Goes there. Check here. Goes there. And simply taking. So I missed one really serious resource here, which is in this position when the queen is there at protecting a3, simply to play rook to b1, because it seems like rook is trapped. It goes there, but then we develop our attack, so going there, rook goes bam, and if he goes away we simply take the bishop, and the king is still under severe attack. It's not just attack, it is a really severe attack. Interesting. Next one. How long have I been streaming for? 1.5 hours, which is fine. Let's just get one more couple. Okay. So here we've got all of the pieces aligning against the enemy's king. However, he, meaning black, has got his pieces deep in our camp. So we need to be somehow helpful here to our own monarch. And I already see that we are missing a piece. Therefore, I wanted to play queen to d3, regaining one of the pieces, but that would be it, right? My king is also under some attack here, so we need to have something better than that. The good thing about this move here is that I'm attacking the rook, so technically I can win an exchange, right? But that's not that easy. It's not that easy. So if he simply goes away with the rook, to take here wouldn't really make any difference to me. So I'm gonna take here, threatening checkmate in one. He goes there or something, or rather, I still give him check. He goes away, or maybe I just do something else. But that's a good start. If I take him here right away, this thing is actually really bad. So if I go there and he steps away, I'm simply taking the rook. I think that should be okay. Okay, so he takes there. Do I take the rook or do I take the bishop? That's a good question, because if I take the rook, he steps in, and I think I can take the bishop. Okay, but I don't want to do that. I want to take here. Rook is going to be still under attack. Then I'm going to take here, and then check here is threatening. But I'm going to be pragmatic, and I think I should take the rook rather. And that's not really clear. No, in fact, more pragmatic thing will be to take the bishop, because that allows us to infiltrate here with check, and then check here and check there. Bishop here is actually tying up every single corner, but if I take here, he might even go further somewhere, like back. Actually, that's not bad either. Far out. Seeing a good way and a bad way, and still going with a bad way, that's spectacular. What I see here, I can take here with check, and once he retakes, I'm simply going to move the pawns forward. And I think here we are definitely on the positive side. Of course, taking on f7, that was my first choice, but then I thought I can take with check. I improved the solution, but in fact it was bad, because once we take on f7, it's not the king we need to improve here. We need to make his rook stand in the bad spot here, where we can attack it with tempo next move. What a silly person I am. Okay, so now moving the pawn forward definitely helps. Any checks from his side don't really, but this, if it goes somewhere here, and if we continue, then he can give me endless checks, but he can come closer, then he will stand in front of the pawn, and it's gonna be basically it for me, right? But now if I move, he can approach to my pawn as well. But if I move this way, and if say he gives a check, I'm going away, he goes somewhere here, I move the pawn forward, he goes backwards, I'm moving there, and I think I'm gonna win that one. Right now, hang on. Now this is a catch, I reckon. I think I need to move my king further, but I might be wrong. I can move that one there, he goes that way, and I'm moving forward. Can he go there first? I go there, he goes there, I go there, and he can't really take my pawn. Then I'm gonna go that way, he goes that way. I'm checking. Yeah, I think it should move. Fuck. This way, attacking his king. Yeah, that's enough, guys. That's enough. I think I'm just starting to move, whatever. So just to make a move, because I just don't play that. And it is 4 in a row, which I played really badly, and I fell even backwards. Okay, let's see what I can do. Let's just see if I can solve that one. So let's check here, doesn't really help. If I take here first, he takes with the queen. Then I give a check, that doesn't help. What if I attack the queen first? He can't really align anywhere, right? And then I'm threatening check here. He covers, and I don't see any continuation, right? But if we go that way, no, so taking first maybe it makes sense. Taking with any check here, he covers, and that's about it. Anything specific? Maybe I can give him check right forward because he can't cover, so he goes away. That's the only way he could go. And then we just simply move that way. Ah, our queen is under attack here, I've forgotten. He takes me here, I take him here, check. Maybe that is not too bad, so check here. He goes away. Can I simply take him here? He can't really align anywhere, so I think it should do. Okay, so simply taking the rook here, I think. And then we threaten already to go that way. Now he attacks me here, but can I just pin him? He gives a check, sure, just go away. And he gives a check. I'm taking that. And then, yeah, not too bad. Maybe I can pin him with this rook. I reckon that might be even better. So he goes the check, I'm going away. Check here. I'm taking. Yeah. With which rook? That's the question. If I take here, goes the check, I'm going away. He can take here. I'm simply taking here. Doesn't matter with which rook, which is not really good because there couldn't be two different options here, which I reckon that's why if I go there, he can take here with check first. That's the thing. Are you kidding me? Just protecting, of course. Right guys, thank you very much for watching. I am apparently too tired to solve this one correctly, so I will try to stream on Saturday, and I will see you then. Thank you to everybody who was watching and will be watching, and I would say take care, bye bye, and see you later.